All right, welcome back, COSA 25 folks. Professor Almeida here. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully you've had a chance to settle into the course. And in this video, I want to talk to you about week 2, which is already open and available to you. But before we get to week 2, I do have some housekeeping items. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right in. First, I want to start with Windows 11 here. You need to have a Windows PC with Microsoft Access installed. After all, this course is called Microsoft Access for Windows. Now, as a student at the college, you do have a free subscription to Microsoft 365, and here's how to install Microsoft 365 with Access on your home system. This is the Viking portal. Click on the Microsoft 365 button here, and it's going to take you to the Microsoft 365 Copilot dashboard. Now, to log in, it's your student ID at lbcc.edu. This is pointed out to you in the syllabus. Anyway, you're going to go to the left here, click on the apps category, install apps, Microsoft 365 apps, and then from there, you'll choose install Office. The installer will download to your computer, run that installer to complete installation. And if you still need help with installing Microsoft 365, you can reach out to the Student Technology Help Desk. Here's their contact information. All right, back to our class. Now, in the first week's announcement video that I recorded, I showed you how to get started with the course, and that included reading the syllabus, taking the due dates, and plugging them into your calendar. The due dates can be found on the schedule page. That's the last page of the syllabus. And then registering with SimNet. So real quick here, you have 3 options. Once you are registered with SimNet, you can pay for access directly in SimNet, and you don't have to deal with access codes. For our class, for COSA 25, it is $71 plus tax. Now, you can also go to the bookstore and obtain an access card. You scratch off the card and you plug in the code here. The third option that you don't see is to register with 14 days of courtesy access. So if you can't pay for SimNet at this time, you can sign up for 14 days of courtesy access, and that should give you enough time to get through the first 2 weeks of material. All right, here we are on the modules page. As a reminder, and I did send out messages through the Canvas inbox, your Chapter 1 Sim book on creating a database and tables is due on Monday the 29th. And you can see the assignment right here. Your goal is to fill this progress meter all the way to 100%. And as you saw in the first week's video, I showed you how to complete the task. So you can see here for 1-1, the single task is completed. And then if you scroll on down, here's 1-2, you can see there are 3 tasks here, and then there's 7 tasks, and so forth and so forth. So again, go back and watch the video for week 1. It's posted to the announcement section in Canvas. Now, this particular assignment is a participation requirement for everyone. Right now, the class is at overcapacity and it's waitlisted. I want to make sure that all of you really want to be in COSA 25 and that you've all had a chance to settle in and register with SimNet. If you don't turn in the Access Chapter 1 Sim book on time by Monday's due date, I'm going to assume that you're no longer interested in the class, and unfortunately you will be dropped so that I can make room for others on the wait list. So let's make sure that we get that Chapter 1 Sim book turned in on time. Now, you do have one other assignment in week 1, and that is Guided Project 1-2. So you can see it right here. This is Guided Project 1-2. Be sure to watch the walkthrough video I provided in the module. So here's that walkthrough video. You can go click on it and watch. You'll see how this project works from start to finish. Don't forget that you also need to download your resources along with your start file. Now, as you're going through Guided Project 1-2, take notes of whatever hints they give you here. So for example, how to create a table in Access, because you will need these hints for your independent projects. So here's independent project 1-4. You can see it looks like guided project 1-2, but you'll notice that they don't give you hints. You actually need to know what you're doing. And this is where week 2 comes in. You'll see that you have independent project 1-4 and independent project 1-5. So you're getting more practice with tables in Access, but again, make sure you complete guided project 1-2 so that you have the background for completing 1-4 and 1-5. One last thing, you'll see a success check-in. By the end of week 2, I'm going to expect that you have either purchased or you will be purchasing access to SimNet, and you can just let me know in a few short words. But if you don't participate in the success check-in, week 3 is going to stay grayed out until you go into the forum. And week 3 will open up Monday, October 6th. Remember that Canvas modules open 2 weeks at a time, so weeks 3 and 4 will open up on October 6th. Now, your 3 projects, your guided project and your 2 independent projects, are due on Sunday the 5th. Keep in mind that we will still be in the add drop period by then, and I'm going to be expecting full participation. If you don't turn in any of the projects, again, I'm going to assume that you're no longer interested and you will be dropped. One last thing before I go, let me show you the ways to get support in the class. Okay, don't go at it alone. So let me show you real quick here before we end this. All right, so if you need to get support, go to the welcome module at the top. You'll see campus resources. And we'll start with the COS tech support. You can also get the COS tech support by following the link to the left here. Okay, there's COS tech support. So here are the hours for the COS computer labs at LAC and TTC. And if you scroll further down, you'll see how to contact our instructional assistants. The first 2 you see listed do have access to our COSA 25 class, and they'll be able to help you out. Again, if you need to get assistance with LBCC technology, whether it's logging in through the Viking portal or installing Microsoft 365, you want to reach out to the Student Technology Help Desk. Now, as this is an online course, it's asynchronous. So in other words, we don't have scheduled class meetings. You just log into Canvas and you complete the work. But if you're new to online learning, be sure to check out these resources. And then the last one is the Multidisciplinary Success Center. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have tutors for COSA 25. But if there is a tutor available for COSA 25, you'll see that on the MDSC website. So with that, enjoy the rest of your week. Let's make sure we get settled in and caught up. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll see you around. Thanks for watching.